Hi everybody. I thought today I would show you my sink and how I installed it. And then I thought I'd show you also how I installed the cabinets that I have in the van and just talk a little bit about those two things. Okay, so first things first, I did want to point out, and probably most everybody's noticed this already, but my cabinets are really roughly made. You can see they're just square cuts. They're put together with deck screws, um, and then I do have some little angle pieces there just to strengthen them up. The reason for that was I was a little bit naive when I first went to start making my cabinets. I thought that I would be able to just go down to Lowe's and buy some furniture grade plywood. When I found out that Lowe's does not sell furniture grade plywood, I kind of scrapped the idea of making, designing cabinets permanently and making them. So I just bought cheap plywood, birch plywood, and whacked them together just kind of as simply and quickly as I could and cheaply as I could. So that's what we have here. The idea was that I had a few things that I wanted to accommodate, like my coffee here, um, and then these little kind of drawers that I made for things that I use kind of on a daily basis. So um, those those I took measurements for, and then made the cabinets to kind of fit those things. Um, as far as why they're made so kind of rough is I thought I would live with them for a little while, see how they worked out, and then either covered them over with something like Luan or something, uh, or even carpeting, uh, or ideally rebuild them. I think I'm mostly happy with kind of the layout of them and the size of them. There is a bit of wasted space with this section here with these two bins, but all in all, I'm pretty happy with them. Um, I don't really have any plans on redoing them anytime soon, just because they kind of work fairly well. Although they are pretty ugly and they do have some pretty sharp edges here and there. But how I attach them to the van, you can see here. There's a piece of angle iron, or actually, I think it's steel actually. But so this angle, there's one on the bottom, and then there's another one up on top. You can just barely see. Uh, those I attached to the van, either with sheet metal screws or some nuts and bolts. And there are some attachment points that were already here on the van. There were these nuts that were already in the van, I think for seat belts and things, and for seats for the minivan version of this van. So where I could, I used those. Where I couldn't, I just used screws into the van. So that kind of gave me a base to build off of. Um, and it's actually worked out fairly well. Okay, now on to the sink. The sink is obviously a little bit unusual. Um, this is a restaurant hand sink. So in a restaurant, they have sinks for different purposes, and this sink is meant for just hand washing. Um, I worked in restaurants for about 10 years, so I was familiar with the sink. And the reason that I like it, one, it's wall mountable, so it's a little easier to install than a regular sink. Two, I like that it doesn't have any seams along the back edge. So see, it's all one piece uh, here, so it's real easy to clean. And if any water does spill around the outside, it's easy just to wipe it down into the drain. Um, Also, I think that the faucet is a little easier to use. Being that it's wall mounted, it's easier to clean. These paddle handles here are easier to open and close, I think. And also the kind of gooseneck faucet here is actually big enough that I can actually get my head in under that and wash my hair in the sink if I had to. So those are all things that I liked about the sink. I guess the top tip here is if you have a restaurant supply store in your town, I say just go in and walk around and see what they have. The Most things that they sell at a restaurant supply store are actually really good quality, for one, and they're not terribly expensive. So this sink with the faucet already installed, with tax and all, was about $90. And they do come in different sizes. The first hand sink that I looked at was a little bit wider. So from here to here, it was I think about 2 or 3 inches wider. I probably would have liked that better. I was thinking originally that I wanted a narrower sink because I don't have a lot of space between the back doors here and the front door. So I was thinking that I wanted kind of a narrower sink. I also didn't like that one because it didn't have the paddle handles that this one does. That one was, I think, about $140 too. But that's kind of the thing about restaurant supply stores is if you have several in your town, like I do, it's always good to go around and check and see what they all have. They usually all have similar stuff, but some of them you'll notice have much better prices than others. So I'm really happy with this sink. It is a little bit of an unusual choice. It did create a little bit of a problem because being that it is a wall-mounted sink, I did have to kind of create a little false wall, basically back here. So there's a piece of plywood that runs up to the top of the sink area, the top of the sink here, just to give me a way to install it. I found the sink wasn't quite as steady or as secure as I wanted it to, so I went ahead and made this cabinet that is down below. I had some scrap plywood, so I just put together the cabinet really quickly, and actually the cabinet works pretty nicely for holding the water tank. This is just a 7-gallon Reliant water tank that you'd see at Walmart, and I think all over. They sell them all over. It also holds the tank in fairly well, and it gave me a place to mount the water pump, which is there. That's a 3-gallon SureFlow water pump. It is a RV water pump that is rated for drinking water, although I don't drink the water that comes out of this tank. I don't really like drinking out of plastic, so basically the water that's in here I just use for washing my hands and cleaning up. Also, you'll notice this here is a little foam soap dispenser. I keep that full of Dr. Bronner's Castile soap, uh, it really kind of helps cut down on water usage, since you mix up about 1 part Dr. Bronner's to about 3 parts of water, and you don't have to wet your hands first. It just comes out already good to go. So that has been that's been a really good little thing to have here. And that was just my paper towel dispenser. It's one of these. It has like a cam system, so that it usually doesn't unravel itself. That was kind of a nice little find I just got at Walmart. Anyway, the way I figured out how to get the water out of the container was I just took an RV drinking water safe, a garden hose, and then I have that goes down into the back of the water container there. That is a piece of PEX pipe. So if you get a Home Depot or Lowe's, they have it looks like plastic pipe, but it's a polyethylene pipe. So basically, I just cut a hole in the back of the container, the Reliant container there, and dropped that piece of polyethylene pipe, PEX pipe. It's a PEX, they call it. It was kind of the simplest way to get water out of the container. I found that if I set the container on its side, for one, it took up too much space, and two, this would always leak. I don't know if anybody else has found that to be a problem as well, but it would always leak, and so I just decided just to keep the container standing upright. It is a little bit noisier, I think, having the pump suck water out of the container rather than having the container kind of gravity feed water into the pump. But this way I don't have to worry about leaks. And it's easy for me to take the top off of this and fill it. And in fact, I just took off the little spigot that it comes with, and I put this plug in. So if I want to heat up some hot water with my kettle, I can just put it in there without actually having to unscrew the top off. Anyway, so that is kind of the setup there, and I'm actually really happy with the sink, just because it's really easy to clean. I didn't, you can probably tell I haven't cleaned it lately. This is how I live, so I figured, just film it the way I always use it. If you see here, this is a switch for the pump. That is an extra 12-volt socket. I thought it would be useful to have one back here. I don't ever seem to really use it, but I guess it may come in handy at some point. But so as you can see, that pump works great. So you probably noticed the shower head here. That was not originally in my plans, but I had noticed that one of my favorite YouTube channels, Howie Roll, had added this same brand of shower head to his van. He's got a really cool setup where he can shower both inside. He's got an inside bathroom and also a way to shower outside. So after watching that, I bought this, and it's on a hose that I can pull it out, and then I just have it set up off of a T. This is kind of in the way here. uh, I just have it set up off of a T, and then this blue-handled shutoff here controls the water flow to it. So I'm never really in a spot where I can really use it outside. Although I did save my shower curtain from when I was renting before, and I could kind of string it up between the two back doors here. I open the back doors straight out, and I've got some magnets and some hangers. So at some point, I think that'll be useful. I have used it inside just for washing down the sink or washing my hair. So it has come in handy a little bit. I'm sure at some point if I go camping out in the desert and the mountains or something, it would be a bit more handy to have. But right now, it's there when I need it, which is not very often. So the one thing that I think I should mention was, we're all different. We all have different requirements for our van. The one thing I realized early on was that I needed a sink. Well, I wanted a sink, a proper sink. I didn't want to have an electric water pump at first. I was going to go with a weed sprayer, like you see a lot of other people use, but I was going to take the weed sprayer and using some quick disconnects, hook it up to the sink that I have now. What I realized though was, because it's so small in here, that there wasn't going to be a lot of space to pump up that weed sprayer. So just because of kind of space considerations, I went ahead and got the electric water pump. I didn't like the idea of the electric water pump because it was just another thing to buy, another thing to maintain, another thing that could break down the road. But it really did save space for me, so I have been happy with it, and I didn't spend a lot of money on it. I don't know if I mentioned it. It's a 3 gallon per minute water pump, which is not a real high flow one, but it is big enough that it does everything I need it to, and it actually runs that Oxygenics shower head just fine. So it seems like it was a good deal for me. I think I paid about $60 for it on Amazon. So I don't know if I'd recommend it for everybody, but it's worked out well for me. So as far as that goes, like always, I probably forgot something. So if you have any questions or comments, please leave them down in the comment section below, and I will do my best to answer them in a timely fashion. And thanks for watching my video. I really appreciate you taking the time.